Hello, welcome back to Conversations with Curio. My name is Stefan Ravello. I'm joined here with my colleague Liz Gillette. We're here at Curio. We try to get curious about your finances and try to bring financial clarity to our clients' lives. Today's episode is going to be a little different than our normal ones. So typically we talk about kind of formal things that you should be considering in with various financial questions that people have. Today, we really want to focus on the impact that clients have had in our lives. A lot of times, we're helping people navigate their finances, but they don't realize how much they truly do have an impact in the way that we conduct our lives and help other clients. So we're excited to share this episode today to just dive deeper about kind of to see behind the scenes of how we kind of operate and how much happier we are with the clients that we get to work with. So, Liz, how are you doing today?
Good morning. This one was a fun one for us to brainstorm when figuring out what to talk about next on our podcast. And clients are so kind to us. They tell us that they turn to their partner and say, WWSD, what would Stefan do? You've told us about the spreadsheets that reference some of the pieces of advice and feedback you've given us. You guys are so good to us. And we just want to make it clear it's not a one-way street. So you've had a tremendous impact on us as advisors, as humans, as partners. And we're going to take a few minutes today to just give you some behind the scenes look at the ways that Curio Wealth thinks about you guys beyond the numbers. So, Stefan, why don't you kick us off and give us a feel for what are some like firm-wide initiatives or approaches that we take that keep clients front and center at Curio?
Yeah, so I'm kind of gonna get into what the clients don't see, kind of the behind the scenes stuff. The first kind of easy one would be kind of our debriefs after our client meetings. So I'm sure our clients have just picked up when the meeting ends, we kind of just shut off our cameras and we don't kind of bop off right away. So when the client logs off, we have a set designated time after our meeting to just discuss how it went. People would assume that you're only going over, oh, what are their to-dos we need to do? What are our to-dos? Kind of the more formal logistical things, which we definitely do discuss. But that's actually not the first thing we talk about. So when it comes to when we talk about the meeting, the first thing is we first give our general thoughts about how it went. So we're kind of sharing the thing I like to pay attention to is how is the other spouse reacting when one is talking. So I think that's an interesting piece, especially we work with a lot of couples. So sometimes we're in those debrief meetings, and I'm like, oh, Liz, did you notice when so and so mentioned X, how they responded in this way? And that's just we really try to pay attention to detail to what both people are reacting, even when you're not talking. So it may sound weird to our clients, but I'm whoever is not speaking at that time, we're truly trying to pay close attention to kind of what's happening, how are they responding to the things we say. Or I'll mention, I mentioned when I said this, they didn't it looked like it didn't land with them properly, or maybe they weren't understanding, or there was something I could have done better to articulate a particular topic. So those kind of debriefs, yeah, sure, we go over the formal stuff that needs to get done, but we truly try to get a feel of did they walk away with what they needed? Because we always say that we can feel good about a meeting, but if the client doesn't feel good about what occurred, then it pretty much was a waste of time. So that's kind of just the one little thing that we do to kind of go deeper than just, oh, are they good financially? It's we truly want you guys to walk away thinking, man, that was the best meeting we could have had at that time. So that's more on kind of the front of how we do after a client meeting. But we also take it a step further, and we actually have these discussions at a firm wide level. So our clients know Liz and Stefan. We're the ones that work with them on the kind of ongoing basis. But almost our entire firm knows majority of all of our clients. So for example, we have a weekly recurring meeting on Wednesdays where we talk about where we stand with prospects and things of that nature. And there's a set of time where people are just talking about what are some good things that happen in a client's life, or what's a good learning opportunity that we may be able to share. Sometimes it's going to, oh, we had a client deal with this financial issue, and this is how we helped navigate and have the conversation. Other times it's just so and so just had a baby, and we're just celebrating that feast. So it really does have a kind of large standard deviation of formal learning, things of that nature. But the part I enjoy most is talk about the personal stuff that's happening um, in clients' lives.
Yeah, well said. I think it really brings everything full circle. Another example is our tax team. A lot of times you may not even remember the name of the person that emailed you if you're one of our Curio tax clients, in addition to, Curio wealth clients, and you might not even remember the name of the person that you were uploading your documents to. Well, we get into those firm-wide meetings and they will say, oh, so and so, yeah, they just took that vacation and got that pay raise. And so it's actually something really special within our firm because we've got separate advisors, right? And we're all kind of serving our various clients, but there's no question that we're all together in one united front as a firm. I guess I would share that recording our videos is something you guys have seen it. You've seen the Curio Wealth Note Taker. Yeah, it's helpful for AI and note taking, but in reality, we are looking at much deeper. We want to know what portion of the meeting were we talking versus were we listening. You're allowed to hold us to that. Financial advisors are advice givers and we are fixers. And so we really need to work hard to make sure we're just listening to what's happening before we jump to a solution. So I hope you guys can, I hope that sounds familiar to you and you've at least experienced some version of that, though we're always working on it. And then I would share in our personal lives, like, right? We all go to our personal lives and turn to our friends, our parents, our spouses, or partners, whoever. And so, yeah, I just would share that, like, our people in our life know about you guys and your wins and your challenges. And it means the world to us that you share so many of these big, important, key things about who you are and what matters to you with us because we truly view you as the whole person. There is not a code number, Stefan code 71, client number 71. So yeah, thanks for bearing with us. We just wanted to give you an overall feel for what it looks like and what we have set up systematically at Curio so that we are really thinking big picture and we're constantly providing and sincere when we ask for feedback about how we can better serve you guys.
Yeah, it literally not only does it doesn't stop just at work. Like when I every day when I kind of talk to my girlfriend, we talk about whatever the plan for the day is. She'll ask me, "Oh, well, what meetings do you have today?" She knows I'm always bogged down in meetings, both internal clients and so I'll kind of tell her, oh, these are the times that I have set for today. And then she'll ask, like, oh, well, who are you meeting with? And she might not know you guys by name. Some of them maybe so. But if I say, oh, they're the ones that do X, if I say their profession or something about their children, she's like, oh, that's awesome. Like she literally knows who a lot of my clients are. And that's just because I love to talk about all you guys and the kind of the impact you have on me personally. I mean, on our firm for sure, but me as an individual, I always say this job has given me access, the knowledge that I have, the career that I'm in, gives me access to people that I never would have had otherwise. I mean, all our clients have these great jobs, they're great people, if they're charitably inclined, and it's really inspiring to see what are the things I need to do to kind of increase my personal growth and things of that nature. So that's why it really comes down to it's truly a two-way street. And we always want to emphasize that point. There will be meetings where we come in and we'll notice that energy may be low, like on the negative side, where life's tired, they're tired with their kids, they're tired with work. Maybe what's how we work with a lot of federal employees, so things that are happening around the government, and then that makes an impact in our clients' lives. And they'll come in saying, to be honest, like my battery's low, I'm burnt out right now. Liz and I, well, we have a ton of things we always want to discuss when it comes to financial stuff. Well, we will willingly scratch all that and say, hey, if you need to just let out some things, like let it out. People always joke, oh, you guys are basically therapists sometimes with us and things of that. But again, that goes back to wanting the client to feel good about a meeting. And we are doing training internally to improve this area. Like Liz says, we both have a very fix it reflex that we need to scale back, especially when there's a time and a place for those things. And when we see that a client is just not in the mood to talk about formal financial things, we read that immediately, and we encourage them to be open and say, hey, if this is not the right time, we need to say schedule this thing for tomorrow or next week, and you just want to chat about something else, let's do that. Because we all, with our personal lives, Liz and I have done that where we'll go into a meeting internally and we're just like, man, to be honest, this week was just real hard. I can give you, we can go over some things I need to do, but I'm just gonna, I'm going to be upfront that I'm not being my 100% self. And it just really helps for the person receiving that to reset their expectations and to adjust. Okay, let's just pivot the meeting a little bit, because we don't just want to dump information on you guys. And especially when you're cloudy, none of it's going to resonate anyway. So it's not going to serve anyone. So we try to, both on the positive and negative side, we're with them side by side. And the way they handle particular situations, it truly, I look at my own life every time after a meeting, like, man, well, am I doing something different? I feel levels of stress. What do I need to do to calm myself down? And it really just puts things into perspective of we all deal with stuff, and how can we do it in the most kind of effective manner?
Mhm. More than a few of you have come into meetings and been honest and said, can we use this as a working meeting? Right? Like I have 1 hour to devote to my financial life. So I don't want to have an hour of conversation and then homework to do because honestly, it's not going to get back on my radar until we meet again. And so you'll see us there. We'll be like, yeah, take your time, look up your account numbers if you couldn't get us that information in advance. If you want us to sit here while you kind of prepare and get some paperwork ready because you know that this is your 1 hour to dedicate to your financial life, then we can lean into that. And maybe a few of you will hear that and be like, oh, I'm going to start doing that from now on. But it is true, Stefan. It's so natural for us to be like, oh, here's the agenda of all the things we're going to cover with our client today, right? Here's all the value that we can add. And we've just been working so hard at making sure when we're truly asking, what is it that you want to cover today? That our job is to make sure if there's anything very relevant that impacts you, hey, would you mind if we share this with you? Other than that, if you come in and you say, today I want to talk about X and it wasn't anywhere on our radar, then we just have to recognize that that's what we're going to talk about today. So it is interesting. Stefan, you said something the other day that I thought was really cool that you were sharing. What other job do you have where someone like sends you baby photos, right? People talk about their great relationship with these other key people in their life, with these other professionals. But I think that's why we feel so connected, right? I mean, we get the baby photos. We hear about the desire to change jobs and even careers before obviously their boss, but before their friends and sometimes before their partner even knows that they're considering that. We get to hear about when someone just secured their dream house. And then on the flip side, we're hearing about their biggest fears and concerns and their parents' mortality and whether they're saving enough. And, we know their communication sticking points that show up in their relationship and other relationships. And so it really is this incredible, powerful connection that we have to our clients. Because when we were drafting this episode, I was like, how do we do this without coming off as creepy? Like, yeah, like well, I'm obsessed with you guys. But it is, it's like you really, really let us in a way that is so fulfilling and so powerful. And that's just something that, like, I don't know, I think we'll be incredibly grateful for. And the best part is it's shaped us. Stefan and I have shared with each other is the way that we have been as individuals and advisors, and then the way that working with you guys has shaped us. So, Stefan, you want to give a little bit of insight into the ways that you've been thinking about, your own financial life or personal life as a reflection of your work with our Curio clients?
Yeah, yeah. It kind of starts with I gave a client a piece of advice that I wasn't even following in my own life. And pretty much what that example was. So naturally, I'm just a saver by nature. My inclination is to save first rather than spend. I definitely, it's hard for me to give myself the approval to spend on certain items. I think about a year ago, we had a new client couple come in, and they were talking about a potential vacation they were wanting to take, and they are great savers. They've accumulated a great amount of assets for their age and their stage of life. and they were hesitant about spending this dollar amount on a trip. And I was like, I'm sitting here in the quiet seat. Liz is kind of leading the meeting, and I was sitting there like, these people can spend double the amount we're talking about on a vacation, and they would be perfectly fine. So towards the end of the meeting, I basically said, "You guys need to take this trip." Like I had nothing professional to say. I had nothing good advice to give. I was like, "We're bugging over a couple $1,000s here. You guys are things that have ruined your financial life. You're going to be in a great place." Ended up turning to this joke where now they call it the Stuff Fund Travel Fund, and I was encouraging them to spend, and they took the trip. It went amazing, and so I felt very good about the meeting. I was like, oh, I'm glad they took the trip. I'm glad they were able to enjoy their money. And that's the reason why we work hard, is so that we can enjoy the finer things in life. So then that put myself to the test of, am I spending my money intentionally and on the things that I truly value? So fast forward to this past summer. Every summer, my family, my mom's side is from Puerto Rico, so we always take our annual family vacation there. We always spend 1 week in Puerto Rico. So I'm there with my entire family. There's 15 of us in an Airbnb, and Bad Bunny, who's obviously a hot topic right now, doing the Super Bowl show. He's one of the biggest artists in the world right now. I love his music, and I love anything Bad Bunny. And he was performing. He's doing this big residency in Puerto Rico, where for 3 straight months he only performed there. Those tickets were not cheap. Just for the just to lay the land here. So the final day of my trip, it was a Friday, was the first concert that he was having over there. So it overlapped. I was leaving the next day. It was the last day I was there, and it was the first show. So like a week before I left for the trip, I was looking at tickets. It was for 2 tickets. It was over $1,000. I said, I'm not doing this. I was like, I can't. So I looked at it 3 times. I put it away. And the day before, 2 days before I left for the trip, I looked it up again. It like went up like $200. Even the cost went up. I was like, I should have pulled the trigger then. I don't know what inclined me to do it. I pulled the trigger. I bought the tickets. It was a $1,200. It was, I would have been okay. I had the money, but I had never spent over $1,000 on anything in my entire life at this point. I never had bought a car yet, like a brand new car. I was given one. I hadn't bought a house yet. So this was truly the big purchase I was ever going to make. Surprised told my girlfriend, hey, we're going to Bad Bunny. She was like, she cried. She literally was like tearing up. It was this big emotional thing. We went. It was the most incredible show we have ever seen. I've never been to a concert where every single person knew every single song. Usually they know the top 4 songs. Everyone regurgitated every single word, every single song. It was Bad Bunny. He was from Puerto Rico, in Puerto Rico. The energy was insane. It truly was the best concert experience I had. And it was just like the fact that we were there the last day, and it was his first concert on our last day. The stars were aligned, and that I truly only pulled that trigger because I told these other clients, live a little. Like, well, what are we bogging over here for such a small amount? And then I realized I hadn't even done that for myself yet. And them sharing how fun that experience was, saying, I'm like, I think I'll have a good time at this concert. And that truly was the reason why I did it, was because I told somebody else to have some fun, and it worked out for them. So I said, I need to try this out and see what the hype's about. And it was truly one of the best experiences I've had.
You had an opportunity to have like a once in a lifetime experience. The stars aligned, and you either have the memories, which pay dividends every time you think about them, talk about them, share the stories, or you have the extra $1,200. That's awesome. I was so excited when you told me that. I was like, oh, it's so fun. Because a lot of times people see it as savers and are like, that's awesome. That's perfect. That's all you ever need to be as someone who's wise in their financial life. And the reality is, you don't give the same prescription to every client. Like, some clients do need a kick in the butt. You guys know who you are. We kind of hold you accountable and say, let's get the spending under control. And we keep your eyes on the prize and on the goals. But then other clients are like, they're sitting in this seat. They hired a financial advisor because they're making really good decisions with their money. And there is something so joyous about getting to be the one to sign that permission slip, and just let them enjoy their life a bit more. Yeah, I would say the biggest thing that I've taken away from working with our clients is like listening a lot deeper, listening to the deeper why sitting back, and again, my brain is already going to a solution, right? Brandon knows this, but as a partner, being like, are you talking to vent, or are you talking because you want me to fix this? So I'd already been doing that, but really just waiting until someone goes through the first round of what matters, the second round of what matters, and the third round. I think that has been really powerful to me in my parenting. That it's translated a lot over to my parenting, and it's a really cool feeling. Um, I'm still working on taking more pauses, and recognizing that when I give out information, I tend to kind of, it all makes sense in my head. So I'll give out three pieces of info all at once instead of share it, pause, make sure the other person's regurgitated it. So I think it's just such a beautiful thing that like we have these opportunities to get shaped as individuals and as humans outside of just the financial advice giving, you know.
For sure. And I noticed that in you for sure of slowing down. Um, Obviously we want to just, it's not that we want to show how much we know. It's just we've done this so many times that it's like, oh, we kind of can anticipate what the either what the next step should be. We can even anticipate the feeling that the client has when it comes to a certain situation, if it's scary or if it's positive. So we can anticipate those things. But to Liz's point, we do have to slow down because not everyone's going to react the same. So even though we've seen it 100 different times, it's always going to be packaged slightly different, personality wise. We try to match the tone of the clients. If they're slowing things down, we need to practice our things slowing it down. If they're rapid, that's where we can fall into a trap because that's we're both naturally quick. So we're like, oh, if they're going fast, let's go fast. So we're truly trying to take the steps internally to learn those skill sets of slowing down. And we hope you guys are sensing that and having the impact. And please let us know if we're not and hold us, like Liz mentioned before, hold us to it. If you're like, oh, you guys are kind of spitballing a lot of information that's not relevant to us, that's actually a good thing for us to go back to. um it's funny the point you mentioned about like us recording meetings. I feel like a coach sometimes. I'll like watch film, like I call it watching film. I'll go back and be like, man, I could have said something there. Or if I was quiet, I'm like, man, I had this thought, I should have said it in that, it should have just interjected. Or if it was me speaking, man, I definitely could have said that a different way. And so we truly take the time to go back and be like, what could we have done better? So those conversations are not like, oh, done, we sent it to dude, we sent the recap, we're good. It's like, no, that's just the first iteration of it. Then it's reviewing and saying we're going to meet next week with a client about a similar house purchase. Let's go back to see what we could have improved on to make this experience better. So we truly, I hope you guys are sensing. We truly love working with you guys. It brings us such joy. And I also want to just take a second to kind of talk about the true things we're experiencing with our client in our clients' lives. I hate to read off notes typically, but these are things that are, I want to get this right. And I want, if you're watching this and this is you, I want you guys to feel heard, and know that we truly do document these things. So Liz and I obviously work with our younger client base. So we work with the building and planning phase. So there's always a lot of change in that 30 to 50 age range. There's just so much going on. And in this calendar year, we've celebrated 6 new kids, which to the baby pictures, please keep them coming. We celebrated 15 job changes and promotions. So those are obviously huge steps and huge changes in people's lives. We've celebrated 7 clients buying new homes, 5 of them starting businesses. That's side hustle or primary, but 5 new business owners. One took a sabbatical and was sharing about that experience. Those are the positive stuff. You've also seen the negative, and that's where we sit with you guys during those times. We've had people, we had 2 car crashes in the same day. Essentially, one was crashing, one was getting to the scene. They got into an issue, so a 2-for-1 there. We had 7 people say goodbye to loved ones. So that's parents, grandparents. Um, Obviously, never easy to deal with. We've had 2 clients move abroad to another continent, not just move states, but literally move across the country. Government, just like I mentioned before, we work with federal employees, so just navigating that piece of the government shutting down. And we reached out to, I think, every single one of our federal employees saying, hey, we're here, let us know what you need out of us. We've had clients, 5 of them, rebuild their emergency funds, so they had to tap into it due to something they had to use it because an emergency came up. That they've taken the time to rebuild it back up. So these are just the ones that we could document, but we literally keep tabs on these things. And when you guys just buy a house, it's not just, oh, you bought a house, great. Like, we truly are celebrating this new phase of life, this new home you're gonna build with your growing families. It really does mean a lot to us, and it's not just a fact on a paper sheet. It truly is. I haven't done those things yet, so I'm living vicariously through you guys with your children and your home purchases. I get to enjoy. We truly soak in those wins with you guys, and it truly is such a satisfying feeling to just play a small role in that.
These milestones are incredible, hearing them all batched together and the years and even over, right? I mean, to me, they represent a couple of things. They represent new chapters. That one's pretty obvious. I think they represent a lot of courage. Change is hard. And I once heard that one of the highest indicators of success, however you define that, is your ability to manage change because it's inevitable, you know? And I just think overall it's such a beautiful thing to see every single client, even the ones that maybe didn't show up in any of these categories. They've taken steps to secure their financial future in 2025, you know. All right, Stefan, let's bring it home. I think we can maybe wrap up in another, minute or two here. But I guess the final thing that I would want to say would just be one big thank you. It's funny. I don't know, by the time this goes out, maybe it'll go out around Thanksgiving. But thank you for trusting us. Thank you for sharing with us. Thank you for just allowing us to grow with you in this journey. As Stefan said, we've done this plenty of times and we have the experience, but no 2 days are the same. And I'm so fulfilled and happy in the work that we do. And besides great colleagues, so much of that happiness comes from just getting to share life with you guys. So thank you.
No, yeah, I definitely share that same sentiment. I'm grateful I landed it. I stumbled into this career kinda. And it has been way more than I have ever anticipated with, again, working for a great firm that's investing in me and giving me the skill sets to serve our clients. And you guys are the reasons why we go to work every day. You're the reasons why we want to improve. So it's not just, oh, we want to improve for a lot of people just work for a paycheck. And that's just the reality of a lot of people. But I truly feel like I'm in a position to make an impact in people's lives. And you guys are doing all the hard work. We get, I think, more credit than we probably deserve. The 100%, but we're just glad to be able to walk alongside you guys and just know that we always say when you overshare, like nothing is ever oversharing. Like, we take notes about a funny quote you said, a response you gave, the way your outlook on life. We document these things and we share with with all of our colleagues in the firm. So I want to just echo that, saying thank you to you guys, and hopefully you guys are getting as much as we are, and we continue to grow this relationship and keep growing our firm so that we can impact more people, because that's the reason why we do it. So thank you guys for listening. It was a different spin at our normal content, but we thought it was appropriate to take the time to reflect on kind of the impact clients have to us and not just the other way around. So thank you for listening. As always, please drop a like, drop a comment. If you're watching this, you probably know us. There's probably no random people. So I would encourage you to do that. It would help us a lot. And we'll catch you guys in the next episode.
Thanks so much. Looking forward to continuing the work together. Bye, guys.